The COVID-19 epidemic is only getting started when the movie opens in May 2020. While conducting a House interview, Connecticut Governor Claire DeBella receives a strange delivery. Lionel Toussaint at Alphen Industries is on a video chat with his superiors, who are pleading with him not to give his approval to his boss Miles Braun's crazy ideas, since they could endanger lives with his latest invention. The same box is later delivered to Lionel by Miles. As they both get the present from Miles at a party, supermodel Birdie J is being looked after by her overworked assistant Peg, who is also attempting to keep a tipsy Birdie away from her phone. Finally, men's rights Twitch sensation Duke Cody receives the gift when he and his girlfriend Whiskey are filming a video. In an effort to figure out how to open the box, Claire, Lionel, Birdie, and Duke all go on a conference call. After Lionel solves the riddle, the package contains more puzzles that reveal a building model and an invitation from Miles to spend the weekend on his private island. Cassandra Andy Brand is the last recipient of the present, and she just shatters the box to pieces before discovering the invitation. Natasha Leon, Angela Lansbury, Stephen Sondheim, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar are all talking to Detective Benoit Blanc via video chat while he is in the bathtub. They are all concerned that Blanc isn't leaving his apartment between investigations. Then Blanc's business associate Philip phones to let him know he's received a box. Later, Blanc comes along to join the visitors as they wait for a ship to transport them to Miles Island at a pier. Claire, Birdie, Lionel, and Duke are excited to see Blanc and learn about his well-known cases. Minutes before they leave, Miles' assistant instructs them to take a disinfectant that will let them talk to each other without masks. Everyone is in a state of shock as they board the boat when Andy shows there. Lionel on board the ship informs Blanc that everyone is startled to see Andy there because of their epic fight, when Miles left her out of a crucial business agreement. The visitors arrive on Miles Island, where he meets them together with Derol, a fictitious visitor he has named. The Glass Onion, which Miles calls his house after a pub where the group used to congregate, is then displayed. Blanc appears to meet Andy for the first time as he explains that they would be participating in a murder mystery in which he is the victim. He also offers them all unique wristbands to wear in their rooms. After that, Blanc visits Miles' office, since it turns out that despite receiving the invitation, Miles did not actually invite Blanc to the event. The visitors settle up and head to the pool while consuming kombucha that has been laced. In spite of Duke noticing, Whiskey seems to be approaching Miles at this point. Birdie remarks that Miles was a nobody when she first met him as Peg approaches her and asks her to speak with Miles regarding a personal situation. Before Andy arrives to criticize him and the others, because she understands that they are latching onto Miles, because he supports all of their endeavors, Miles sits down to give a brief speech to the group. Peg then goes to locate Miles and urges him to stop working with Birdie. However, Miles isn't willing to back down. An alarm scares Blanc away from trying to smoke a cigar. Then, in Duke's bedroom, he witnesses Miles and Whiskey having a sexual encounter. Miles invites friends around for drinks at night before starting the mystery. Blanc quickly surmises that Birdie is the potential murderer as soon as the mystery begins, because she is seated next to a statue that contains a time-release crossbow that would target Miles. Miles is annoyed when the arrow kills him, but everyone else is impressed. Blanc apologizes for spoiling the surprise so quickly and follows Miles as he goes to clean himself up. But it is evident that he has brought individuals together who all have legitimate reasons to want Miles dead. Blanc then discovers a memento that Miles had framed, a cocktail napkin on which he is said to have jotted down the information that resulted in Alpha's creation. Miles informs the guests that he has the real Mona Lisa on loan from the Louvre because they are short on funds owing to the pandemic, while the guests carry on drinking. It has an alert alarm system with an obvious failsafe. The group is then gathered by Miles for a subsequent presentation. He has created a brand new, unproven fuel source called Clear that powers the entire Glass Onion. Lionel reminds him that this is absurd because Clear required at least 2 years of testing before it was made public. Duke confronts Andy after she calls Miles out once more, telling her that she ultimately lost the argument. She leaves the gathering. Everyone keeps partying, and Duke calls Miles' attention to something on his phone that he claims could shift the course of events and land Duke a coveted position at Alpha News. Duke receives a drink that Miles had prepared and starts choking shortly after. While the others try to assist, Duke passes away. When 10 o'clock rolls along, The lights start to fade out all over the area, coming in screaming that Andy ransacked their room whiskey. In the shadows, Blunt pursues Andy, but just as they start conversing, a gunshot from an unidentified attacker hits Andy. When the others enter, they notice Blank standing over her. The group is then gathered by him in another room. The movie then flashes back to the moment Blank accepted the invitation. Helen, Andy's twin sister, came to see him and gave him the damaged puzzle box. Helen informs Blank that although Andy is rumored to have killed herself a few days prior, she thinks she was murdered. Because Andy realized the clear deal could be risky, Miles had cut her out. Blank had the idea that he and Helen should visit the island while Helen pretends to be Andy. She can impersonate Andy by changing her accent and hair, despite her initial reservations. When Andy's entrance on the yacht surprises Duke and Birdie, Blank gives Helen advice.